It's the dictionary. 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 It's the dictionary.
Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. I just did a bunch of lip exercises. It still feels kind of tight, I guess. I did record last night with a guest. We talked for, I think the episode is going to be almost 2.5 hours, 2:15 maybe, something like that. So yeah, a lot of talking last night. So I think maybe my lips are like we're tired. Can you not talk so much? I am recording this on April 17th, 6:36 a.m. Got to get a little bit of an early start today. Okay. Let's see. Hey, could you join the Patreon? $1 a month. That's all it is. You'll get early episodes. Watch this on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel. Follow me on social media at dictionarypod. Also at Speejampar, Spejampar. Email me, dictionarypod@gmail.com. Buy some merchandise. There's a TeePublic link in the show notes. Call the Google Voice number, 917-727-5757. I think that's probably good. Okay, let's talk about these words. The first word in this episode is ex gratia. Ex gratia, and I would want to say ex gratia because it is EX, second word, gratia. Ex gratia, adjective or adverb from 1769, and this, I think it was exempli gratia. Let's see, where was that? Here, exempli gratia, and people there also say gratia. So is this a shorter version of that? Let's find out. Ex gratia is as a favor. That's what it means. Also, not compelled by legal right. As a favor, you're doing this as a favor to me. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Or not compelled by legal right. I am not. Well, let's read the example because maybe that'll help. Ex gratia pension payments. Not compelled by legal right. And I'm trying to figure out, what does that mean exactly? You are not compelled by legal right. Ex gratia pension payments. You are not legally required to make those payments? Is that what it means? I don't know. Is this as complicated as my brain is making it out to be? Okay, it's sound effect time, and I'm just gonna go. The next word is exhalant or exhalant. EXHALANT or ENT. This is an adjective from 1771. Bearing out or outward. And the synonym is emissive, as in an exhalant siphon of a clam. Didn't we just have a clam siphon example not that long ago? I won't be able to find it in all of this text, but I think that there was something not that long ago. I remember reading it. An exhalant siphon of a clam. So the clam is pushing out. Is it breathing out? Is that what it's doing? Is it pushing out water that it doesn't want? Other things that it doesn't want? There's a little tube probably. This siphon on this clam. Does all the clams? So the tube, the siphon of the clam is called an exhalant siphon because it can push stuff outward, out of it, through it, bearing out or outward. Yeah, emissive. It emits things. Next is exhalation. Noun from the 14th century. 1. Something exhaled or given off. And the synonym is emanation. Let's see, something exhaled. Yeah, so the breath is the exhalation, but also, the smells coming out of my armpits are also the exhalation. They have emanated from that area. We all We all have exhalations, various kinds of exhalations. Number 2 is an act of exhaling. The next word is exhale. Joel exhale. Exhale, verb from the 14th century, starting with intransitive. Number 1, to rise or be given off as vapor. To rise or be given off as vapor. So I guess that the vapor, or something like it, would be exhaled intransitively because something else is exhaling it. 2, to emit breath or vapor. So, well, now I'm curious, like, what's the transitive like? So if I go, I am emitting breath or vapor, and so I would be exhaling. Now, is that transitive or intransitive? This is saying intransitive, but let's see what transitive says, shall we? Okay. 1A, to breathe out. Yes, there it is. As in, she exhaled a sigh. 1B is to give forth, and the thing that you might be giving forth is gaseous matter. To give forth gaseous matter, maybe, I don't know, the sun or something else out in space could be giving forth, exhaling gaseous matter. The synonym is emit. But there's lots of things here on Earth that are, when you take that helium pump where you fill up your helium balloons, and if you just press down on the pump, pump is probably not the right word. If you press down on the thing, but you put you could put a balloon on it, you could put it, and it's exhaling the helium into the balloon, because that's gaseous matter. Limit how much of that, or when you open up the balloon and you breathe it in, you inhale the exhale from the balloon is exhaling and you are inhaling. Don't do this much, and then you will get the helium breath, and you will sound like this. We are the Lollipop Guild. How does that song go? Why can I not remember how that song goes? We represent the Lollipop Guild. Okay, number 2 is archaic, and this is to cause to be emitted in vapor. To cause to be emitted in vapor. Yeah. So we have to breathe out, that's transitive, but intransitive is to emit breath or vapor. What's the difference? I don't get it. Okay. Let's see. This is from the Latin exhalare, which is from the ex prefix, plus halare, which means to breathe, and then you put the X, and it's to breathe out. It doesn't say to breathe out, but I'm going to assume that exhalare means to breathe out. So breathing, halare, is just the normal act of breath. And then specifically, exhalare is the out. And probably they have another version that's inhalare, and that's to breathe in, because it's in. Next is exhaust. E-X-H-A-U-S-T. First form verb from 1531, and we're starting with transitive. 1A. To consume entirely, and the synonym is use up, as in exhausted our funds in a week. And your trip was 4 weeks, and you exhausted your funds in 1 week. So you need to now go get a job when you're on vacation for 4 weeks. To use up entirely. I think I am using up all my brain cells on this podcast. I think that I don't know how to how to talk, how to think anymore, and I may not even make it to the F's. We'll see. So we only got a handful of pages left to go. I mean, not that many. Let's see. We haven't done this in a while. I'm on page 437, and the E's end on page 446. Woo! less than 10 pages. Okay, I almost exhausted the E's. So number 1B is to tire extremely or completely, as in exhausted by overwork. That will definitely do that. There have been times where I have been exhausted by overwork, working too much, working a lot. It's a temporary thing. Sometimes you just got to do it. But then at the end, you're like, oh, I'm so exhausted and I'm tired. I'm extremely, completely tired. Can I please take a nap? 1C is to deprive of a valuable quality or constituent, as in exhaust a soil of fertility. Oh, so this is when you're taking out all the fertility. You have used up all the fertility of the soil. You go, I now have the soil's fertility in my hand, and I have the power. So to draw off or no, that was the wrong one. To deprive of a valuable quality or constituent. Yes, the fertility is very valuable. So what is doing this to the soil? Is it the plants that are exhausting the fertility of the soil? I would think that they would have a pretty good symbiotic relationship, but maybe not. Maybe if you're putting the same plants, if you're doing agriculture and you're putting the same stuff in the soil over and over again, that might exhaust the fertility. I think you got to mix it up, right? Isn't that what they say? Put new things in there every year. That's good for the soil. I don't know. I'm not a farmer. 2A, to draw off or let out completely. To draw off completely or to let out completely. Like maybe if you're letting your cat out, which I don't like the idea of that. I like the idea of cats being wild, but then also there's a higher chance that they're going to get killed or sick or something, and I want them to live a long and healthy life. So if you let out the cat of your door completely, you have exhausted the cat from your door. That's a very weird example. 2B, to empty by drawing off the contents, but specifically to create a vacuum in. Ooh, to empty by drawing off the contents. So in this vacuum, you are pulling out the air, all of the air contents. To create a vacuum. Exhaust, what scientists probably use this if they need to create a vacuum. Do they say, hey, go exhaust the tube because I need a vacuum in that tube because I'm going to go do some scientific experiments and I need a vacuum. I need to drop a bowling ball and a feather at the same time and see if they land at the same time. And in a vacuum, they will. Okay, number 3A is to consider or discuss thoroughly or completely, and the thing that you are considering or discussing is a subject. Yep, I could talk about a thing for a long time. Maybe you and I could have a little chat about a subject. What subject? Water. Let's talk about water. Let's talk about everything we know there is to talk about water, and then at the end, we will be very tired, we will be exhausted, and we will have exhausted the topic of water. And we might need some water because we will have talked so much about water. Okay. Last night I was brushing. I know I had a mouthwash, and I was trying to ask Sharon if she gave the cats water, and so I was using sign language. I could have used this sign for water if we knew it, which we don't. So I was trying to do, W-A-T-E-R. But every time I held up the 3 for W, she thought it was a 3. And I was like, forget it. And then I got A-T-E-R. And then I went back to W. And she's 3? A-T-E-R 3? What? It was very silly. And I was trying not to spit out my mouthwash. Oh, Spencer has the best stories. He hasn't exhausted all of his best stories yet. Okay, what else? Number 3B is to try out the whole number of. To try out the whole number of. What does this mean? What's the example? Exhausted all the possibilities. We have tried out the whole number of possibilities. Seems like a weird way to word that, right? Exhaust, or couldn't this example have been put with a different definition? To what's specific? To try out the whole number of. Well, I've tried out the whole number of apples, different kinds of apples, and I don't like any of them. Okay, intransitive, we just have some synonyms, discharge and empty, as in the engine exhausts through the muffler. The engine discharges or empties through the muffler. So whatever gases and things that the engine is creating, they go through the pipes. They go all through the pipes under the car and through the car and over the hill and through the woods. To grandmother's house they go, which is where the muffler is, and then out that tube in the back. The exhaust tube, is that what it's called? I don't know. Synonyms are deplete and tire. Exhauster is a noun. Exhaustibility, that is a noun. And exhaustible is an adjective. I'm getting exhausted. Whew. Okay, this is from the Latin verb exhaurire, which is from ex plus haurire, which means to draw. So like you're pulling the fertility out of the soil, drawing it out. Akin to the Middle High German eisen, which means to empty. From the Greek auin. Wow, there's 4 vowels in a row. Auin. A-U-E-I-N. That means to take. So it's like something is taking your breath away, taking all of if you're the soil, something is taking your fertility. They're all combined. They're all connected. Okay. The second form of exhaust is a noun from 1848. 1A. The escape of used gas or vapor from an engine. That gas that the engine pushed through the muffler, it's all used up, don't need it anymore. It is called exhaust. That's the exhaust, goes through the exhaust pipe. 1B. The gas, I have a lot of used gas I don't need anymore. Would you like it? Can I sell it to you? 1B. The gas or vapor thus escaping. So that's the one, that's the exhaust. The first one, 1A, is the escape of used gas. So the action, I guess, what would you call that? It's the exhaust is the escape of used gas or vapor from an engine. It's not the gas itself. I mean, it is. That's the 1B definition. But in 1A, I'm trying to think of another. It's a noun, but like it's not a physical thing. It's just it's the exhaust. It's the stuff. Oh, why is this so complicated? I feel like there should be another word for that. It's not an adjective. 2A is the conduit through which used gases escape. 2B, an arrangement for removing fumes, dusts, or odors from an enclosure. An arrangement. So I guess it's for removing fumes, dusts, or odors from an enclosure. So I guess it's like literally the piping system. The muffler and all the things under the car. Other things need all the systems, all the pipes and the tubes and the boxes and fans, probably fans and other things. That is all the exhaust because it allows for the exhaust to go through it. The exhaust goes through the exhaust. The exhaust goes through the exhaust when it's exhausted. Number 3, the synonym is exhaustion, which is our next word. Exhaustion. Noun from 1615, the act or process of exhausting and the state of being exhausted. After I ran my marathon, which was what year? I don't know, 2017? Whatever year it was a while ago. I was very much in a state of exhaustion. I was very, very tired. That's exhaustion. Next is exhaustive, adjective from circa 1789. Including all possibilities, and the synonym is thorough. He's very thorough. As in, conducted an exhaustive search. If there's people missing, you got to go walk through the woods, the lake, the field, wherever you think they are. You must do an exhaustive search because you need to include all the possibilities. Maybe everybody's holding hands, walking down the path to find the missing person. That's what I think of when I think of an exhaustive search. You could also do an exhaustive Google search. I have searched over all of the internet. It was very exhausting to go through the whole internet. My legs are very tired. Thorough. Got to be thorough. Exhaustively is an adverb. Exhaustiveness is a noun. Exhaustivity, that is a noun. Exhaustivity. I think people at Christmas time, they should make an exhaustivity scene. Exhaustless is next. Exhaustless. Adjective from 1614, not to be exhausted. That's the definition. I'm sorry. You are not to be exhausted. The synonym is inexhaustible. So you just throw the in prefix before the ex prefix, and you think that everything's fine? Okay. Inexhaustible is also exhaustless. So it cannot be exhausted? It shall not be exhausted? I'm sorry, you cannot do that? I wish there was an example. What is exhaustless? What are there gases that are exhaustless that you don't want to remove? They're used up, but you want to keep them for some reason? Let's see. What is exhaustless? But I don't want the definition. I want an example. Example. What? Why do I need to know these things? I don't know. Oh, this is interesting. There's a couple of the fact that no two snowflakes are exactly alike is proof of the exhaustless variety of nature. Nature will never be exhausted by the types of things that it can create. I like that. That's a good example. Also, she found music an exhaustless source of enjoyment. It's kind of a hard word to say, exhaustless. She will never not get enjoyment. She will always get enjoyment from music. So it's exhaustless. She will never be exhausted from it. That's good. I like that too. Nature and music. Okay. Next is EXHBN, abbreviation for exhibition. EXHBN, exhibition. The last word is the first form of the word exhibit, EXHIBIT. Verb from the 15th century starting with transitive. 1. To submit as a document to a court or officer in course of proceedings. Also, to present or offer officially or in legal form. I present to you Exhibit A. What do I want to? I'll show you this glass. This is Exhibit A. There is DNA from where Spencer took a sip. And this is Exhibit A to prove that Spencer was here drinking from this glass many days ago, so it should probably be washed. That's okay. He has a water bottle. He does not need that glass. Okay, number 2 is to present to view. To present to view. I present this for your viewing as to show or display outwardly, especially by visible signs or actions, as in exhibited no fear. I have no fear. You will not scare me. Oh, my God, what was that? To show or display outwardly, especially, yes, this is what you are showing on your face. You might have lots of fear in you, but you exhibit no fear. You are stone cold, stone face. You won't let them get you when you go to the haunted house. You might be so scared on the inside, but you will never show your fear. Okay, 2B is next. To have as a readily discernible quality or feature. You have this. It's readily discernible a feature or quality. As in all cultures we know, men exhibit an aesthetic sense. That's a quote from H.J. Muller or Mueller. What was he talking about? Men exhibit an aesthetic sense? In all cultures we know? Is that true? What does that even mean? An aesthetic sense. They are, interesting. Let's do a quick search. We could do it now. We don't have to do it later. Let's see how fast we can type this with one hand. Exhibit an aesthetic. Here we go. Let's see. H.J. That's what I wanted. H.J. Muller or Mueller. Quickly now. Computer, find what I want. You are not doing it. Forget you. 2C. Are we on 2C? Yes. To show publicly, especially for purposes of competition or demonstration. As exhibit a collection of artifacts. In 4 days, I don't know if I'll get to watch it because I might be busy, but in 4 days, there is a show about collectors on MeTV, and there will be an episode where one of those collectors will exhibit his collection of Weird Al collector's items. I think he might have the largest or one of the largest collections, so he is going to exhibit it for all to see. Do you have to show publicly? Yep, you got to exhibit your stuff. I don't have anything to exhibit. I'm sorry, I have nothing to show publicly. Intransitive is to display something for public inspection, and a synonym, I guess, for all of it is the word show. Yep, you're just showing your fear or not showing your fear, showing your aesthetic sense, your style, exhibits in a court of law. Lots of things can be exhibited. I am exhibiting my forgetfulness, my silliness here on this show, and sometimes my songiness. Exhibitive is an adjective. Exhibitor is a noun. That's just the one who's just showing the villain who is showing all the heroes things. I'm going to exhibit all their stuff out in the public for you. And exhibitory, that is an adjective. Etymology for exhibit is from the Latin verb exhibere, which is from the ex prefix plus habere, which means to have or to hold, or to have and to hold. So if you have a thing, but then you put the X in front of it, it's out. You are having it. You're showing it out. You have it, but you are letting people see it. There's more at the word give. Yeah, I give you this exhibit. All right, now I would like to exhibit a word of the episode for you today. Today we had ex gratia, exhalant, exhalation, exhale, exhaust, exhaust, exhaustion, exhaustive, exhaustless, exhibin, and exhibit. Let's see. I'm thinking of maybe exhale or exhaustless maybe. I like that nature is exhaustless. Let's see. Yeah, nothing really was sort of jumping out, but maybe we'll do exhaustless. Nature and music are exhaustless. There's infinite possibilities. I'll never be exhausted of music, so it's exhaustless. But I think I have exhausted all the music possibilities of songs that I can sing. Hey, I don't have any more movies to watch. Haven't watched any. Sad day. Sad day. So I just have to quickly end the episode there. I am exhausted, and now I have to go work a full day, and then do more work after that. Thank you very much for checking out this show, podcast, or YouTube, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.